Okie dokie, we are live now. Apologies everyone for the delayed start. Had a wondrous time setting up, getting my skybox going, I should say, ready for this one here. But we are live now. We are 10 minutes out from kickoff. So welcome everyone in to the live stream for today's Carabao Cup live watch along for Hull City and Stoke City. Of course, we're away at the Bet365 Stadium to face Stoke City, a side that we've had quite a nice bit of success in recent years away at Stoke's ground. Of course, we've not had so much success in the Carabao Cup over the past couple of years. We have, in fact, lost every Carabao Cup game we've played in nearly 6 years. Last recorded win against someone in the Carabao Cup was a Leeds United victory for the Tigers on penalties all the way back on, I believe, the 16th of September in 2020. So we're sitting at well over 2,100 and I think 69 days. I did the maths yesterday for the prediction video. So, but we are here and hopefully we're going to see our first, as I say, Carabao Cup win in nearly 6 years. I'll go through the team in a second, but welcome everyone into the chat. Welcome everyone into the live stream. Come on, you Tigers. Come on, you Tigers. Indeed, Mexico rolls. Of course, got the muscles out. Got the muscles out for the Tigers. Of course, this is Hull City's first game after the big opening victory on their the first game returning back to the Premier League for the Tigers. As they beat Manchester United on Saturday. Of course, this one's not quite Premier League football, but still, it's a good opportunity, as when I get to the team news in a second, it's a good chance for Sergei and the coaches to roll out players that are needing some game time and that will get what works in theory a bit like an extended pre-season for Hull City. So, I'm still trying to get the game up, but my skybox is now working, so that's why I was delayed on the live stream. If anyone missed the start, had a lovely time, we'll say, setting up the skybox. But Hull City's starting lineup goes like this. It's a completely different starting 11 from the side that beat Manchester United at the MKM Stadium, as everyone predicted. Of course, it's Dylan Phillips between the sticks, a back four this time of Cody Drameh, Paddy McNair, Lucas Harrington and Matt Targett. Ahead of them, as sort of a defensive midfield duo, is Lucas Gorna-Duath and Jens Hidjerto Dahl. I expect Guath to be more of the drop back player. Gorna-Duath to be more of the drop back player, sit in front of that defensive line, and kind of how he did at his club before coming to Hull City, and playing a bit more as a shadow man in front of that defensive lineup, where Hidjerto Dahl may be allowed to advance forwards and plays a bit more of a box to box midfielder, as seems to be his repertoire coming into Hull City. Of course, sitting ahead of them, it's Kieran Dowell, expecting that it's going to be Miller out on the left, Omer out on the right, and Akintola up top. But of course, it's probably going to be Miller out on the left, but it could either be Omer sitting up top and Akintola out on the right wing. So we will wait and see on that one. But I expect it will be Omer out on the right and David Akintola, Big David, sitting up top for the Tigers. That leaves on the bench. On the bench, there is two men that did not feature on Saturday. The rest of them are starters from Saturday to fill out the rest of the bench spots. Of course, the substitute keeper is really the only keeper within Hull City's ranks that isn't Dylan Phillips, and that is Konstantinos Slakis. If he gets on, we're maybe in a bit more trouble than what that would suggest, because that would probably suggest that Dylan Phillips is down with an injury. Of course, there is also on the bench Ryan Giles, Hidemasa Morita. He's expected to get some minutes today. We did get that report out from Hull City's camp yesterday, and we expect that Hidemasa Morita is going to get his first little bit of Hull City action tonight against Stoke City. Mohamed Baloumi, John Egan, Elliot Stroud, Regan Slater, Noble Mendy named on the bench. Of course, Mendy and Giles were both subbed off of the game on Saturday with a little bit of apparent injury problem. That seems to be all cleared up, as they are able to feature on the bench for this one. And of course, as I said, there is another man that did not feature on Saturday, and that's Tyrell Sellers-Fleming, TSF, who I tipped to start this one for Hull City to try and give him a nice little bit of start, but they have not done so. They've elected to go for what I am guessing is Akintola up top, but I reckon that Tyrell Sellers-Fleming will get a little bit of action, because I'm not sure that David Akintola can necessarily go a full 90 minutes, especially against a Stoke City side. They're certainly in the flow of things. They've had 2 championship games already, and they've already had a game in the Carabao Cup. So that makes 3 competitive fixtures. Of course, a pre-season build-up before that. They are winless in their starts in the Championship this season. 2 successive losses, 1 at home, 1 on the road. And then, of course, a win in the first round of the Carabao Cup, a 2-0 win against Oldham to progress them through to face Hull City tonight in the second round. Where, as I say, this big one for Hull City is trying to get their first Carabao Cup victory in just shy of 6 years, I should say. So let's hope that they can do so. I'm still trying to get the game up on my Skybox, so we will hopefully have that up before kickoff kicks underway in 4 minutes' time. But let's hope and pray. As is now saying, there's another problem with my Skybox. So let's go through it this way. Here we go. I might be onto a winner here. Currently no programs available of this type. Fantastic stuff. I promise you we will have a watch along nonetheless of this Hull City game. Even if it means going through some other avenue. Let's turn the box off, turn it back on. Let's hope if that works. Up Premier League Tigers, indeed, Bill. Wrexham last year was insane. It certainly was insane. That will be a live watch along that I will remember for the ages. With, of course, the commanding victory that it looked like was going to go on, and then of course the late drama with the 2 late goals in stoppage time by, I believe it was Ollie Palmer for Wrexham, and of course the lasting extra time going all the way to penalties. So yeah, hopefully a little bit less drama this year, but I'd still take a little bit if there is some. Of course, if that is to favour Hull City. Still no programs available apparently. What are you doing to me? Oh dear. Dear. Let's see if we can get it up. Let's hope and pray. Because if not, I might have to just pull it up on my phone. That might have to be the job, unfortunately. I'm not sure what's up with the Skybox because it's playing everything. It just doesn't seem to want to do the whole game for whatever reason that is. Not a clue. Not a clue indeedy. No, I'm currently watching the Leeds game, but I don't really want to be watching that. So apologies everyone that's joining in for the watch along, and I'm just now faffing around with tech issues. No, it had a loading screen that time, but it did not seem to want to work. Now, I'll pull up the game on my phone. We'll go proper old school fashion with it, and I'll get it up on my phone until it seems like it wants to work on the big television, the big telly. Now trying to find the game on my phone. Stoke versus Hull. Nope. Oh, that's not working. Oh, great. We're having a whale of a time here. Let's try this. Honestly, Sky. What are they doing to me? What are they doing to me? Don't even want to work on my phone. This is wondrous. Apparently it's kicked off. I could not tell you that because I've got no coverage of it. We will have it, I promise. In a second. Now I'm now even trying to get up on my computer, and this is. I could not tell you, Desi. I could not tell you. Because I'm having trouble getting the game up. Let's try on the telly once more. Come on. No programs available. Come on, Hull. What are you doing to me? It's Sky, it's Sky, it's Sky. Of course it's bloody Sky. Well, that's just not working on there, is it? Come on. Come on. Right. I'm now resorting down to... I don't even want to allow me to pay to watch the match. Okay, let's try and sign in and now pay for some sort of subscription, something. Of course, I've got to verify it's me and all that sort of goodness. Oh, right. You get all the Premier League. Oh, you get everything on Dazan. All right. Did Stoke change their badge? They have, actually. I've not changed it on my screen, have I? But yeah. There we go. It's they've changed the badge. The one on the screen, of course, is their old one. I believe they may have just changed it for the one season, or they may have gone to it permanently. I'm not sure if it's like an anniversary. It will be an anniversary because it's 1863. They may have just changed it back to that permanently. I can't get the dang game by me, so I'm glad you're doing the live, mate. Yes. Greetings from Greece. Good luck tonight. Thank you very much. Here we go. Sky have finally emailed me. Let's copy and paste that into there. Oh, you're not going to let me. That's okay. We'll have to type it out then. I've got to tell you, tonight Sky have ticked me off. Link your Sky account. Oh my god. I need a Sky number. What on earth is happening? Oh, this is a monstrosity, Sky. Why is it just not working? Nothing that I'm trying is working. Watch! It's working! It's working! Is it? Or have I spoken too soon? Have I spoken too soon? Sky Sports? Is it working now? Finally on the big telly? If so, this is a better moment than with Shemi Ajayi scoring against Manchester United on Saturday. Come on! Come on, you know you want to. Let's go. Come on, Sky. I know I may say some bad things about you, but for once, could you just work for me? Just work. Just... Screen's gone black. Oh, Sky Sports logo again. This time we've got a whirly wheel. We've got a whirly wheel with it. Watch live. Watch live. Come on. Come on. Come on, just let me see Hull City. Just let me see Hull City. Come on. Yes. Yay! I've got it on the telly. Thank goodness for that. Well, we are now live with the game. We're only 5 minutes into it, and it's still 0-0 in what seems to be a very empty Bet365 stadium. That's the first thing that my eyes are drawn to, and not the fact that Hull City have got possession of the ball. It's back there with Dylan Phillips, who sends it out towards Paddy McNair. He tries to send up the right flank. It does go out for a throw-in before it's able to reach Liam Miller. And so Matt Targett will take that throw-in, play it back towards Paddy McNair. We are live now with the game, so that means that whilst Hull City pass it along their back line, I can put in the chat, of course, the usual poll. Who you think will win the game? Of course, it's a Carabao Cup game, so it does go to penalties. There is no second legs at this stage in the proceedings. Forward, though, to Akintola, who takes a shot right at the Stoke City goalkeeper, who fumbles it, but manages to grab it before anyone gets onto a second ball. Nearly an opening chance there for David Akintola. The scenes if Akintola scored today. Who do you think will win? And then we go, of course, Stoke City or Hull City. Hopefully you are picking Hull City. Hopefully you're picking that the curse will be broken. Unfortunately, I cannot show the game on the live stream due to, of course, copyright rules. But we're all here for the watch long. Up the effing Tigers. Up the effing Tigers indeed. Lucas Harrington just on the ball there for his first start in competitive action for Hull City. Of course, managed to get off the bench on Saturday for his Premier League and Hull City competitive debut. A nice little play there with Lucas Gorna-Duath and Matt Targett. Ball goes forward to David Akintola, who just gets snapped up from behind. So, ball is now in possession in the case of a free kick with Hull City. I will just quickly run back through the starting lineup for the Tigers for those of you who may have missed it. As I said, it's a fully changed starting 11 from the side that beat Manchester United 2-0 at the MKM Stadium on Saturday. That means Dylan Phillips is between the sticks. It's a back four of Cody Drameh, Paddy McNair, Lucas Harrington, Matt Targett. Over in front of them, Lucas Gorna-Duath, Jens Hjerto Dahl. Ahead of them, it's Kieran Dowell with Lee Miller on the left, Abdush Omer out on the right, and then seeming to be as the striker man, it's David Akintola. Of course, talking about attacking rankings, Hull City are expecting an influx of new attacking talent to come into their midst in the coming days. One of whom is a current Stoke City man that is named in their squad for today, being Sorba Thomas. Now, we know about Sorba Thomas. He's been on Hull City's radar for a little bit of time, and he could possibly be making his way to Hull City. Apparently a £7 million bid was rejected the other day, so we'll see if there is any wiggle room on that. As Paddy McNair just lays one over to Lucas Harrington. Up the right-hand side now to Cody Drameh, who cuts infield to play it to Lucas Gorna-Duath. Duath lost it on the first ball, plays it on the second, is chopped up a little bit. Referee says advantage play Hull City as it's back with Lucas Harrington. Akintola up top. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're exploring a position to play him in for the season, if he's going to be a bit more of a versatile player. Of course, he's probably going to only get minutes this season for Hull City in very brief cameo appearances off the bench, if any appearance at all. And so having a chance like this to play him in a position that's not his typical position at striker, I can kind of see what they're going with. Of course, elsewhere at striker, there's only really Tyrell Sellers-Fleming, the academy striker, who is named on the bench today for the Tigers. Has had a few senior appearances with the first team in seasons prior, but I'm expecting that he's either going to be going out on loan in the closing days of the transfer window. Of course, we've got a week to go left of the transfer window as Stoke try and play one forwards. It's well read there by Matt Targett, who lays it forwards to Liam Miller. Liam Miller now up on the left-hand side. Cuts it into the box. Stoke do well to defend it second, thirds and fourths. It's now there with Carabao. Oh, fantastic save there. Apologies, it was Hidjerto Dahl. Getting used to the new numbers I am. Hidjerto Dahl tries a lovely curling effort from the back corner of the box. And it's forced that the Stoke City goalkeeper to make a save. There we go, Jens Hidjerto Dahl. I believe recording Hull City's first corner kick here now with this one. We'll see how they play from set pieces today. Of course, set pieces was a big factor. The win against Manchester United, but with no Regan Slater delivering them in, we'll see how they play. Kieran Dowell's the man to take it. He's going to fire it. A low-driven one to Abdush. It's now going to end up going back in towards the box. It's heading around in the box. Jens comes onto it. Akintola, off-balance shot. And it falls away now to Stoke, breaking on the counter-attack here. It's now a foot race. Lucas Harrington clearly outbeats, I believe that's Sorba Thomas there. And Hull City do regain possession there quite easily from the counter break from Stoke City. Now Stoke will be using this game to try and build up some momentum for themselves within the league. Of course, their only competitive victory this season has come in the first round of the Carabao Cup. They've lost their opening 2 games in the league. Of course, that being the Championship, the division that Hull City just spent the past couple of seasons in there with Stoke City. Of course, last time Hull City did face Stoke City in the Carabao Cup was back in 2016, where Hull City were very happy to record a 2-1 victory at the MKM Stadium. They'll be hoping to do an away victory on a cold, windy night, I'm guessing it is in Stoke, as it always is. I don't think it's raining yet, but let's not tempt fate with this one. As Stoke pick up the ball in City's half. I'm seeing that we may have got Ilyas Anas from Union Berlin, another top man up top, possibly. That one seems to be all things breaking right on that one. A very high transfer fee there. I think it's 22 million, I think I saw him say. Yes, yeah, he seems to be one of the next men in, along with Mohamed Ali Cho. Apparently that one, they're just waiting on a medical for Ali Cho to come into Hull City. So 2 very nice attacking options to be coming into Hull City in the coming days. Of course, I will keep you today on all the transfer gossip around Hull City here on the channel. But no update, I believe, as of yet on Ali Cho. We will just have a quick look, see if there's nothing been published by anyone. But I believe that all things are still as I reported yesterday for Hull City, of course, in the prediction video. Yeah, apparently a deal has been agreed with Ilyas Ansah from Union Berlin. It's around 20 million euros. What I saw yesterday was around 22 million euros. This is now coming out from Fabrizio Romano. So we've got the here we go from that man. Wow, wow, wow. This is actually like nice to see a side play worse football than Hull City for a couple of games in a row. Stoke City just fired I don't know if it was a cross or it was just a chance for them to give up possession. But my oh my, that was absolutely diabolical. And you can tell that things are pretty bad for Stoke when the fans are revolting. This might be Mark Robins' last game for them. We'll see on that one. It's been a horrid stretching back into last season. And the fans, well, there's barely any of them in the stadium. There may be more Hull City fans, because I know that there was a sold-out away end for the City faithful to travel down to Stoke for this one. All of them will be hoping to see the Tigers pick up their first Carabao Cup victory in just shy of 6 years. Of course, we came close to doing it last season with that upsetting loss on penalties against Wrexham. Talking about transfer-wise, of course, talk about attacking options. Seems like Hull City are still in the market to try and pick themselves up another goalkeeper. Of course, with Jack Butland out till Christmas, it makes a bit of sense. With the only real options at the moment is Konstantinos Slakis and Dylan Phillips. Dylan Phillips, who is starting today, and has had okay moments, to be fair, in the City shirt when he's been called upon. We'll think back to his FA Cup heroics last season, of course, saving 2 penalties in the shootout. As Hull City just dispossessed Stoke City as they're passing it around in their final third. So now Hull City will try and lead a break going forwards. Gorna Duath plays out to Cody Drameh out on that right-hand side. Drameh looked quite nice when he came on against Manchester United on Saturday. He carries it in towards the box. Miller was calling for it at the edge of the D. Drameh tries to go down towards the byline to play the cross, and he's going to get a deflection and a throw-in. City still committed somewhat to this attack through this throw-in now. It's Cody Drameh. He's going to play one over the top, looking for Akintola, who's just on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's going to be held off, and so it's going to be an easy collection for the Stoke City goalkeeper, as he just bowls it out to his defending line. Stoke going down this year? There's a possible chance for it. There is a possible chance for it. Of course, it's very early in the season to term anything. I mean, if we're going to term stuff off opening games, might as well call Hull City European contenders, which I would certainly not say no to. But the Stoke are coming forwards now, getting in towards the box, laying it towards the penalty area. Shot blocked there by Lucas Harrington. It's cleared up there by Kieran Dow, back to Lucas Harrington. It's now with Abdul Shamir on the edge of the D. Harrington, Hull City playing a lot of passes along their back line here in high pressure football. But still coming forwards now. Lucas Gorna Duath playing it forward through the middle to Kieran Dowell. Dowell looking to try and play Miller out on his left. He does so as Miller gets a little bit of space. Bit of wiggle room as he lays it over to Jens Ajerto Dowell on the edge of the D. Tries and takes a shot. We may see a bit of that from Jens Ajerto Dowell this season. He seems to be someone who likes to take them shots and not be afraid to have a little go at it on the edge of the area. 1-2 touch football and then a shoot from Jens Ajerto Dowell a couple of times already in the opening 17 and a bit minutes. Money well spent, certainly money well spent this transfer window. Ball into the box. It's at David Akintola's feet. It's now nearly at Jens Ajerto Dowell. It's a 50-50 challenge. Hull City do win it. And Gorna Duath now picks it up. It's laid off to Abdul Shamir. Abdul Shamir goes for the shot. And that's high, wide. And disappointing, we'll call that, from a little bit of an attacking build-up there from Hull City. Still nice to see them do so. It's a very different tactical point of view, this game, from how they was playing, of course, against Manchester United, as you would expect with the different in opponents. Of course, Hull City being in the Premier League does mean that they did come into this competition in the second round that we are at today. The only teams not in the competition yet are those that are competing in Europe this season, which there is quite a number of them in the Premier League. I know the reason why Hull City haven't scored yet. We haven't taken a sip out of our Hull City mug glass, as we always do, for a little bit of good luck. So let's do so. There we go. Now Hull City will go on and score and score and score, and Akintola is going to get a hat-trick. You've heard it here first. Yes. I did go for a 3-1 victory for the Tigers in yesterday's video, with, of course, the poll in the chat there until half-time. Let me know your score predictions. Great to see Drameh playing well. It's been a long waited. Hopefully he's finally found it now. Seems to have done so. I think he did so last season, to be fair. Looked quite a present for Hull City last season. Of course, picked up that injury towards the back end of the proceedings, which then led the full run for Louis Cole through the historic final run of the season for Hull City. But a very promising outing for him on Saturday against Manchester United. Seemed to know how to deal with Marcus Rashford down that side very well. And today, he's looked okay getting forwards and also getting back. Hull City in a bit of a problem here now, passing along their back line. Paddy McNair tries to lay one forwards up this left-hand side for Liam Miller. Stoke do sniff it out. And so it's now going to find its way along Stoke City's back line. Coming through the midfield here for Stoke. Jens Adjerto down. David Akintola snuff it out though. And now unleashing Liam Miller down this left-hand side. Liam Miller trying to use that little bit of pace to get beyond the Stoke City man. Manhoff. Miller calling for a foul. Referee says no way. And Stoke will pick up the ball off that loose ball from Miller's break forwards. Be interesting to see how Miller does in this one. Of course, seemingly to have lost his starting role for City with the acquisition of Elliot Stroud. And maybe having a few things that he needs to work on if he does want to truly compete at the high level of Hull City this season. So let's see if there is not an improvement to his game in this game, but we see the right things that we want to see. Because Miller, he's one of them players where if he's having a game, he's going to have the game of his life. If he's not, you're kind of going to know about it. He's one of them players. We've known a few of them through Hull City's history, where it's maybe not quite hot and cold, but somewhere similar. City just holding on to possession here before trying to break forwards through the right flank now. Omer lays it off to Cody Drameh. Drameh trying to send one into the box. That gets a deflection off a Stoke City man. And they're going to now try and lead some sort of press forwards. With the counter pressure from Hull City, they're going to try and hold for a bit more possession based. Before now hoofing it forwards down that left hand side for Stoke. Snuffed out though by City. As the ball's with Lucas Gordon-Duath. He just halts for a second thinking the ref was going to blow for a foul. He does eventually get a foul, Lucas Gordon-Duath. And it's going to be a free kick. Halfway into the Stoke half over on that right flank. 2-0 Hull is what you're going with, Charlotte. Love it. Love the clean sheets. It's been quite a lot of clean sheets in a row for Hull City. Dating back to, of course, the 0-0 Millwall draw at the MKM Stadium to start the playoff run for Hull City. They've not conceded a goal since. Of course, 0-0, 2-0 away at Millwall, 1-0 at Wembley, and then 2-0 back at our place on Saturday. So Hull City now just getting ready to take this free kick here. It will be more of a swing in rather than a shot. Because if Paddy McNair does go for a shot from here, I'll be questioning why more than anything. It's quite a way out and on quite an angle. So swung in by Paddy McNair. Right towards the back post. Lucas Harrington trying to go for the header. Once again there for City. And Manhoff will try and clear it away for Stoke. It's now going to end up back in City's favour. It's got its way to Liam Miller on this left-hand side. He's going to swing one in towards the penalty spot. Akintola gearing up for the header. But it was just flicked beyond by Stoke City. And it's going to go out for a throw-in over on that far-hand side. Taken back in quick by Drameh. Plays a 1-2 with Gordon-Duath. Gets it going towards that back line for Cities. They're going to try and look for a different avenue forwards. Harrington out towards Miller. Miller does eventually pick it up as he gets a little deflection off a Stoke man. Miller into the box, couple of step overs, tries to lay in for a cheeky tap in from Abdus, and that's going to get sent behind by Stoke City. Hull City seem to have like a nice little bit of avenue going down their winging play in this game, of course, with Miller on this left-hand side and the build-up of, it seemed to be Drameh mostly on the right-hand side. So Liam Miller here, going to take the corner kick from this side. Of course, it was Kieran Dowell who took it off from the other side. Swung in now, deep towards the back post. That's going to be headed out of play by a City man. It was Paddy McNair who got the last touch on it. That's going to be a goal kick for Stoke City. Come on, Tigers. Come on, Tigers indeed. 2-1 Hull. I'll happily take a 2-1 win. It means a win in Carabao Cup action for Hull City. Go on, you all indeed. Thank you very much for the word from the words of recommendation there, Mexico Rolls. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in today. For, of course, not Premier League action, but Carabao Cup action. Of course, a win today could see us face a whole host of teams, including some Premier League teams. But at this point, you kind of be hoping that Hull City don't see a Premier League side in League Cup action. You kind of hope that they'll see either a League One side or a League Two side if there is any remaining after today. Of course, Carabao Cup does not run like the FA Cup. There is only Prem, Championship, League One, League Two. Whereas the FA Cup is open to all. That's if you can qualify and make your way through the various rounds of qualifications and progressing forwards. As Stoke just try another one of these balls where they're trying to switch out play towards Sorba Thomas and it just goes very, very, very wide off the mark. It's quite a sight to be seen, really. Stoke City at one point last season were in very good contentions to be maybe even in the talks for automatic promotion places. They were certainly above us at one point. I know we went away to play Stoke City, and they were sitting a couple of places above us in the table. We beat them, and then from that moment on, they've kind of been on a slippery slope downwards. To the point where I think they finished 17th in the table last season? Something quite down, not quite near the top upper echelon. You all up the Tigers indeed. 2-0 today is what you reckon? Hopefully that is the case. They'll have to defend this free kick here. Ball in. Drame nods it forwards. There's no one there for City. And so Stoke are going to get the chance to play it. Sorba Thomas is on the right side now. He's going to play one-on-one with Matt Targett. Matt Targett then gets the block on it. Goes out for a corner kick for Stoke City. Of course, Sorba Thomas could be a Hull City player before the deadline next week. We will wait and see on that standpoint. Hull City have apparently had a bid rejected for Sorba Thomas. We're in the region of £7 million. This has come a few days ago. Of course, Hull City were in the realm to try and get Sorba Thomas before he signed with Stoke City last season. That one didn't quite happen due to, of course, the whole financial situation of Hull City with the embargo fee restrictions. Corner whipped in. Nodded away by Jens Lajerto Dahl. Not too far, so Stoke are going to still come try and back in on this. Manhoff, who seems to be quite a nice little player today for Stoke City. He's trying to get everything going for them. Dispossessed, though, now by Hull City. Liam Miller plays it infield towards Jens Lajerto Dahl. Holds off one in Stoke colours. And now plays it over towards Lucas Harrington, the Aussie footballer. Now over to Paddy McNair. Of course, McNair and Harrington both came on Saturday to play Manchester United. 2 substitutions for the 2 goal scorers at the time. Semi Ajayi and, of course, Noble Mendy, as both of whom were dealing with a little bit of fatigue injury reasons. Not wanting to risk it, of course, on opening day and with that 2-0 win at the moment. They did not want to risk it. So Hull City now send one out, crossing towards Liam Miller. Miller with Matt Targett ahead of him. He's going to actually run past Matt Targett and try and cut infield himself. Ball gets a deflection running away. Goes towards Abdul Shamel on the edge of the D. He's trying to gear up for a shot in quite a very narrow opportunity. Maybe shouldn't have done that and tried to play a bit more of a passing play. As Stoke are going to try and break away now with Manhoef. He's going to play over towards Sorba Thomas on this left-hand side. Sorba Thomas one-on-one with Cody Drammer this time. He's going to get it in. Oh, and that was a very close chance and maybe should have been the opening goal of the game for Stoke City as they play it across the 6-yard box. And it should have, in theory, been a tap-in situation there for Stoke City. As Sorba Thomas caught the back line for City napping a little bit there. Manhoef now plays it over back towards that left-hand side to try and find Sorba Thomas once again. He's trying to get past Cody Dramé. Doesn't quite do so. Plays it back in the field towards Manhoef. Still in attacking play here for Stoke. Of course, if you are keeping an eye on this game. It would be decent to keep an eye on Sorba Thomas, see how he fares up against Hull City, because all the transfer speculation. I mean, it would be the situation for Sorba Thomas to score 2 against Hull City today, and the transfer fee to then hike up by another £10 million, £10 million, I mean. That seems to be Hull City's fortune, doesn't it? Which at that point, I highly doubt the Hull City will be going in the realm to try and sign Sorba Thomas. Of course, with the 2 attacking signings that seem to have been already made, we'll wait for the official confirmation on that one from Hull City. And of course, Ali Cho and Ansa from, of course, Union Berlin. 2 very high talented attacking prospects Hull City seem to have got for collectively. Whoa, that was a very dangerous ball into the box that could have gone anywhere. Luckily, it didn't go into the back of the net for Hull City. So Dylan Phillips now has himself a goal kick. But yeah, both whom signed for, if we're going off the reported fees, we're looking about €35 million for the both, which is not bad. Get in, it's back on live. Up Tigers indeed, Mexico Rolls. Woke up this morning feeling fine. Got Hull City on my mind. Sergei's playing the way that the city should. Oh yes. Oh, something tells me I'm into something good. And hopefully that's going to be a Hull City win tonight. We're at the Bet365 Stadium. Of course, we've had very good record at Bet365 Stadium over the past couple of years. 3 seasons on the trot where Hull City have picked up the victory at the Bet365, and Stoke City have picked up the victory at the MKM Stadium. So we're very glad this game is getting played here, as Stoke had just caught offside there. A very early call from the linesman was a very clear offside call there against Bosnick, or Bosnick. Bosnick, the number 9 for Stoke City. Of course, seems to have lost his striker role with Stoke City's new signing of George Hurst from Ipswich Town. Managed to get his first minutes for Stoke City this Saturday in the 3-1 loss against Southampton. Of course, Ipswich don't need him after stealing every Hull City transfer target this summer. Main one being Emerson, who had a very nice Premier League debut on Saturday for Ipswich Town as they recorded their first win of the campaign. But all focused on Hull City, as I say, they try and break the curse for the Carabao Cup that see them winless in this competition for just shy of 6 years. Last won a game in the Carabao Cup on penalties against Leeds United, all the way back on the 16th of September in the COVID year of 2020. As the ball goes back towards Stoke City's goalkeeper. We're sitting 33 minutes into this one. When does the transfer window close? I believe it's in a week's time. A week today, I believe. If that's the 1st, then that would make sense. Omer trying to break on a loose ball there from Stoke. Does so. I believe he's going to get called offside though now by a bit of unfortunate play. Omer goes in on the break ball. He then loses it, goes forwards. Then Kieran Dowell comes breaking on it. Kieran Dowell trying to lay one, then get a touch on it. He gets a touch on it and breaks for Omer. But unfortunately by that point, Omer was offside. Stoke City on the break on the counter-attack. They get the ball into the box. A few pushes and shoves in the area. Referee says nothing about it. And so City tried to launch one back up towards the other end of the field. A little bit of end-to-end stuff in the past 30 seconds or so. Stoke City now with possession. Breaking it down the left-hand side with Sorba Thomas. Sorba Thomas gets past Cody Drammer this time in towards Dylan Phillips, who swings his fist to that ball in a bit of like he's going for a knockout blow in a boxing match. Clears the ball away effectively, to be fair. And a free kick from the resulting play there for Hull City. But what an interesting saving method there for Dylan Phillips. We'll get a little bit of the look on the replay. Sorba Thomas gets past Drame, goes for the shot at the near post, and Dylan Phillips almost swings his fist at it like that. Now that is Hull City's current backup goalkeeper. With, of course, Jack Butland out with his arm injury up until seeming to be the new year at this point. So Hull City just see the ball go out of play there. So throw in for Stoke City just in front of Mark Robins' technical area. But they're instead going to take the throw in front of Sergei's technical area. There we go. Be interesting to see at what point and what substitutes Sergei does bring on into this game. Dean Holden, one of the assistant coaches, did say before the game that they are treating this like any other game, like they want to win. After the Man United game, all focus turned to this one rather than the Coventry game on Saturday. Of course, that's not saying that they want to have a run in the Carabao Cup over staying up in the Premier League, because very much staying up in the Premier League is the key focus for City this season. But to back up the win on Saturday with a win tonight will do brilliant for the team's morale, and it'll do brilliantly for the club as well to get a little bit of, maybe not have a run in the Carabao Cup, but to get a couple of wins in this competition for our first time, as I say, since 2020 will be brilliant. I expect the two men that didn't play on Saturday, that being Tyrell Sells-Fleming and of course Hidemasa Morita, to get game time today. Now, we did get told yesterday that Hidemasa Morita is going to get some minutes today. Of course, missed out entirely on pre-season with Hull City, as when he signed with the club, he already has a bit of an injury problem. That seems to have fully cleared up. He has been in training for about the past week or so now for Hull City. Just narrowly missed out to being ready for the game on Saturday against Manchester United, as they didn't want to risk him on opening day, and I can fully back that point. But if he gets some minutes today, could get some more in a pivotal role on Saturday against Coventry. As after this one, of course, attention then turns to Coventry, as there seems to be a little bit of a problem with Kieran Dowell here. A bit of a collision onto the back of his head, it seems. He's bent over and messing about with his socks and stuff. But of course, with it being a bit of a head injury, he needs to get it seen to and everything. He seems a bit annoyed that he's having to get it seen to and then leave the field, of course, because the physios have had to come onto the field for Hull City. That being one of the rules that's come into the play of the game. He took a drilled shot from, I believe, Sorba Thomas off the side to the back of his head. He does seem to be all okay, as he's just shrugged off any medical help. But of course, still having to depart the field in order for play to go on. And so it's going to be a drop ball here for Hull City. Referee just pushing back one of the Stoke men. And Dylan Phillips is just forced to kick out of play. He's having to go at the referee because it's a bit of a screwed scenario there for what he's doing, as no one was in options for Hull City. Dylan Phillips did actually have a go at the referee. Stoke City in possession here. Going to lay it over towards Sorba Thomas on the left-hand side. Thomas whips one into the box. Oh no, and that's one. Stoke City won. It's number 9, Bosnick, who's been in awful positioning for the game so far. But more importantly, it was Sorba Thomas that delivered the ball into the box. And Bosnick seems very aggressively happy with that one. Punches the corner flag, and I'm not sure what the point is with that one. Phillips is still hounding at the referee, as he can't believe that referee gave the drop ball scenario there. And so all comes off the back of that head injury to Kieran Dowell. As Sorba Thomas makes his future employer pay. It's 1-0 Stoke. Still on Phillips. Got into his own head a little bit there. Change the score on the screen. And Hull City have a little bit of a job to do now if they are wanting to win their first bit of Carabao Cup action. Just shy of 6 years. There we go. Ball kicks underway. Going forwards. I don't like the look of this Bosnick fella. Not because he's good. Quite the opposite. Oh. Oh dear. Well, there we go. 5 minutes remain of this half. Hull City 1 down. Sorba Thomas now pressing forwards. Ball gets through. Paddy McNair then gets a snuff out on it. Lucas Garner-Duath plays it out towards Cody Drameh. Ball hacked up now towards David Akintola. Ref calls for the foul on that one. So City with a free kick. Middle of the park. Come on all indeed. Good goal. It's a decent header, to be fair, from Stoke City. Ball whipped into the box by Sorba Thomason. He just manages to sort of fully break free of Paddy McNair and go for a bit of a low diving header onto the ball to drill it into the back of the net. Very preventable though for City. And hopefully that isn't what makes them pay. So I predicted a 3-1 win for the Tigers. So, of course, I predicted Stoke to grab one. And that is Hull City's first competitive goal that they've conceded since the Norwich City win on the final day of last season. Ball forwards now. Matt Targett plays it in fields towards Kieran Dowell. Dowell, edge of the area, shoots, and he forces the keeper to make a diving save. Kieran Dowell, from quite a distance out, goes for a left-footed shot to try and find top bins. And he forces the Stoke City keeper to make a save there. This is what we want from City. Still forcing that attacking play. It was a bit more centrally than what the camera angle at first shown to me. So it was a bit more of a central shot from Cody Drameh, making a little bit of an easier save for the goalkeeper. But ball whipped in now from the corner. It's a high ball right on top of the keeper. That's going to be an easy collection for him. As he's going to bowl it back out towards Sorba Thomas. Not Sorba Thomas. I'm expecting it to be Sorba Thomas on that left-hand side, but he's up in the central position at the moment. As it's Manhoff, who seems to be everywhere for Stoke City in this game. A little bit of a problem child for the Potters. We'll have a sip out of the Hull City mug glass. Try and bring us a bit of good luck now that we have gone 1-0 down. Seeing 2 minutes plus injury time remaining in this first half. I don't expect that Sergio will be in a rush to make any changes in this one, of course. Treating it a little bit like an extended pre-season. With, of course, a big game against Coventry on Saturday. But ball forwards for Liam Miller. He tries to dink it over the keeper. And that was shocking, to say the least. Liam Miller with the captain's armband on. He sees the keeper come rushing out towards him. He's up on the right-hand flank. And I think the ball goes further away from the goal than where Liam Miller is. Caught it completely on the wrong side of the foot, and the Stoke fans giving him a full bereavement there. The ball forwards now by the Stoke City goalkeeper. Headed by Lucas Harrington, and again by the Aussie. Chetted down by David Akintola. Jens Hjerto Dahl chasing forwards through the midfield. Goes centrally. It's Liam Miller out on the left. Miller lays it back. It's a goal! Kieran Dowell! What a smart finish there from Kieran Dowell. Just firing it with a left-footed shot to find the top bins. That time from the edge of the area. And things are level now at the Bet365 Stadium. Just before half-time. Things go level 1-1 with a Kieran Dowell goal. It seems to be a Kieran Dowell half. as it's 1-1 at the Bet365 Stadium just before half-time. And that's how you want Hull City to do it. Of course, Kieran Dowell, the man who went off with the head injury for the first goal. And then has come to make them pay, grabbing one of his own. Pick that out indeed, Bill. Hull score indeed. Party time indeed. 1-1, what a goal. Up the Potters. No, not here. 2 minutes worth of additional time to play for Hull City. As Stoke are going to try and play one forward to try and pull themselves back on top before half-time. It'd be nice to see this one play out level as things are for the first half. And then Hull City try and build up with the a bit of pressure in the second to grab the win. Things are currently level 1-1. Thanks to a Kieran Dowell equaliser. So 2 minutes worth of additional time in this first half. We've had one played. Stoke are going to try and battle to try and get one just before the referee blows his whistle. But ball won back by City by Abdushamer. Out wide towards Liam Miller on this left-hand side. Miller trying to cut back in towards the box. He lays one in towards the penalty area. And it unfortunately finds a Stoke man rather than someone wearing the black and amber home kit. Lucas Harrington on the ball now for City. Up the right flank goes City for possibly the final attack of the half. Cody Drame. Is it back towards Kieran Dowell? Dowell, Gorna Duath in the central areas over towards Paddy McNair. Jens Adjerto Dowell is in quite an advanced area at the moment for City. As the referee blows for the the half-time whistle. A couple of seconds before half-time. But there we go. I'm not watching Tigers any good. To say that it's a completely different 11 from the side that started on Saturday against Manchester United. They're looking all right. There's certain weaknesses in the squad. But for, in theory, the B team of Hull City to be holding up with a Stoke side where they've, rotated a few players, but there's still quite a lot of first teamers there. You got the likes of Sorba Thomas, who assisted the opener of the game. It's all right by City. There we go. Hull are great indeed. You've definitely got that. Yes, definitely. If you're watching from outside of England, let us know where you're watching in from. Where we've got our Tigers from anywhere. Got, of course, Mexico Rose joining us in from the USA. I'm joining us in from Hull. Or Hull, as we say around here. Yeah, I know that we have people on the channel from all over the place. But yeah, 1-1 half-time. Of course, poll in the chat, that will be out. I'll leave it out for another minute. We've got someone in from Nigeria. Well, hello to all of you in Nigeria, all of you Nigerian Tigers joining us in. Skegness. Skeg Vegas. Love it. Love the Tigers. Now, I know Hull City have certainly, of course, with the promotion to Premier League, got a San Diego supporter joining us in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know, of course, Hull City going up to the Premier League, there's been a lot of international reach-outs for the Tigers. And I expect even more so with the emphatic win against Manchester United on opening day. Yeah, I know that was... Been a lot of on the channel here. There's been a lot of people commenting from all over the place, and of course with international signings, those that you do like Hidemasa Morita. We've had a few sort of Japanese fans joining in Toronto, Canada. There we go. Liam Miller's our Canadian boy. I'm from Barton. Barton on Humber. There we go. Oh. Yes, Liam Miller, Canada boy. He's a Canadian boy. Canadian boy. Love it. But yeah, I know that Hull City's reach out has been quite immense. Orange County in California. Originally from Gilberdike. Wow, wow, wow. Well, that's a shift up from going from Gilberdike all the way out to Orange County in California. Current score 1-1. It certainly is, my friend. It most certainly is. Wow, wow, wow. So, yes. I'll end the poll in the chat in the next couple of seconds. So get your final votes in for who you think will be the winner of this game. I'm near the Hull training ground over in Cottingham. There we go. Fun stuff, fun stuff, fun stuff. A bit of transfer news while the game's going on. Hull City have reportedly made a bid for around €5 million plus add-ons for a Portuguese right back in Rodrigo Pinheiro. Pinheiro? That's probably how you're going to say it. There we go. As I did say, Hull City are still in the market for a right back this transfer window. Attacking targets is the main focus at the moment for City, and of course, possible backup keeper. Right back is still on the talking points, and also another central midfielder. Of course, we talked about Toby Collier yesterday, about how he is possibly going to be seeing Hull City return on a permanent basis. But we'll wait and see on that standpoint. There seems to be someone on the field getting some sort of a little bit more of an intense warm-up for Hull City ahead of a second half. Not fully sure who it is from a distance. My bet is Hida Massa Morita is going to get a full 45 in his belt, because we were promised minutes for Hida Massa Morita, and a full 45 tonight against Stoke would be very, very good for him. Of course, with the factor where he might have a role to play on Saturday against Coventry. I'm hoping to make the trip down to the MKM in January when we play Arsenal. Well, there we go. Hopefully I'll see a few faces down there. Bill, no way, mate. Me too. I'm from USA. Everyone planning to make it for the Arsenal game. Well, that one is going to be a huge one. Of course, Hull City's history with Arsenal has been extensive over the past 20 or so years. Think back to the Giovanni wonders at the Emirates back in 2008. And of course, let's not forget 2014 FA Cup final. Just showing back the highlight of Dylan Phillips. I'm not sure if it is encroachment there from the Stoke man. But anyway. Bill became a Hull fan because of the FA Cup final. Going to be a full circle moment. Here we go. Love to see that. Right, well, I will end the poll in the chat now. Hopefully, majority of you have said for Hull City win. Let's have a little look at it. And yes, you have. We have an 86% of you say Hull City will win this one. How's Harrington looking in that first half? He's looked alright, to be fair. I think he's won pretty much every header he's gone up for. He's looked okay at the back. Hasn't gone forwards in too many advancing positions, which I don't mind. Be interesting to see what more he's got to prove in the second 45, because I reckon that he's going to play the full match for this one for City. Of course, when you look at the bench for the Tigers, there's John Egan, and Noble Mendy as the two centre-halves on the bench. And of course, Gorna Duaf, I reckon he could play a job at centre-half. I think he has done previously in his career. Been a fan since the Phil Brown era. Well, there we go. Big up Phil Brown. Yeah. Did not expect a bit of transfer news throughout the game. But yeah, we've got a week to go until the transfer deadline. We'll see how they fare in a week's time. I've got to say, maybe standout man for me so far in this game is Jens Hajerto Dahl. Jens Hajerto Dahl, of course, young midfielder. I've said that I've seen people comparing him to the likes of a young Jude Bellingham, and I mean, I've always said if we manage to find someone even half as good as a young Jude Bellingham, we're on for a pretty good winner here. But we'll certainly see on that standpoint. So yeah, whilst we're still in half time, let's go into the scores elsewhere in the Carabao Cup. See if there's been any half time upsets at the moment. And we'll maybe a bit more about Hajerto Dahl and Sorba Thomas. Okay, second round. Norwich currently winning away at Cardiff. Middlesbrough are winning away at Doncaster. Check who scored for Middlesbrough. Oh, there we go. I believe that's his first goal for Middlesbrough, but Kyle Joseph, the man to score for Middlesbrough there. I believe that's his first goal for Middlesbrough. Sheffield United leading 1-0 away at Blackburn Rovers. Peterborough winning 2-0 away at Watford. It seems like all the away sides are winning. Millwall winning 1-0 away from Cambridge. Barnsley are the home team winning 3-1 against Crewe. Wolves are winning 2-0 away at Sheffield Wednesday. Coventry, of course, side we play on Saturday. They're currently winning 2-1 away against Plymouth. Reading beating Stevenage 2-0 as the away side. A 0-0 draw at the moment again with Walsall and Leyton Orient, Blackpool, Lincoln City, that's 1-1 draw. So is, of course, the Stoke Hull game that we are currently watching. Fleetwood beating Shrewsbury 3-0 at Fleetwood. Southampton, West Ham, that's a 1-1 draw. A bit of an interesting game, that one, actually, Southampton, West Ham. Ipswich Town, Leicester City, that's 0-0 currently half-time. Brentford are leading 3-1 against Birmingham City in Birmingham. Nottingham Forest against Leeds, that is currently 0-0. Both the Birmingham, Brentford, Nottingham, Leeds games, those are currently just nearing the end of their first half, being the late kickoffs. And of course, games tomorrow, Newcastle, West Brom, Bradford City, Burnley, Spurs, Charlton, Preston, Everton, Chelsea, Luton is on Thursday, so is Fulham and AFC Wimbledon. So no major upsets that I can see on the face of things at the moment. Just seems to be a lot of away sides winning, and hopefully Hull City can join them. But yeah. Two games are progressing on there. I presume they were the earlier kickoffs with Norwich currently leading away at Cardiff. That's in the 84th minute. And the Doncaster Middlesbrough game in 55th minute at the moment. But yeah, we'll see how things crack on. He reminds me a lot of Havertz. Will take him, but he's quality. It will take him time, but he's quality. I can see that, to be fair, on comparisons to Kai Havertz for Jens Hajerto Dahl. To be fair, I see the comparison that you're making there, with his play style and his technical ability as well, which I will take it. Havertz is a European winner. He's won quite a few things, to be fair. I'll take that at Hull City. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you are here. If you had to name your top 3 most impactful signings thus far, they would be It'd certainly be Slackers for me. Noble Mendy. And third one, it's either, at the moment, it's either Lucas Gorna-Duath or Jens Dahl or Lucas Harrington. It's one of them three. I'm probably going to go, at the moment, from impact that I've seen, Jens Dahl from this game. But of course, very, very early stages in the season. This might be an interesting conversation to have maybe just before the January transfer window. I might set that in the little bank. Thanks, Mexico Rose. Give me a bit of an idea for a video to do before the January transfer window, around the December time. We'll have a look at all of the summer signings and see which ones have made what impact. Watford down 2-0. Peterborough is hilarious. Was that? Yes, Peterborough winning 2-0. That's probably the biggest upset at the moment then. Poor Watford indeed. Watford have had an alright start to the season though, haven't they? I think they have. Yeah, they're currently sitting 7th. 1 win, 1 draw. Yeah, they've not done too badly to start. Who have they played? 2-1 win against Southampton and a 1-1 draw against Wrexham. Home and away. That's not bad. To be losing 2-0 against Peterborough at home. Second round of the League Cup at half time. That is embarrassing. But not end of the world stuff. After all, it is the League Cup. The goalkeeper and Mendy is a good signing. They've certainly been the two standouts at the moment. Slakis and Noble Mendy. Slakis, I've been saying pretty much since he signed, and it's been less than a month, that he's going to be a huge difference maker for City this season. He is going to be an absolute rock the Hull City need along that back line in between the sticks. But I must say, it's very nice for a second round of a League Cup to see a sold out away end on a Tuesday night at Stoke. There we go, I've said it. It's very, very nice to see. I'm used to the we'll go back to the Blackburn Rovers FA Cup game of last season. Where was it? 6,000? If that, at the MKM Stadium. And that's probably including the travelling fans from Blackburn. Well, there we go. Players are coming back out onto the field. We'll see if that change with Hidemasa Morita, as I was maybe alluding to, is going to take place, or if he was just going through an intense warm-up to make sure that he is ready to get on the field in the second half. Of course, coming back from a little bit of an injury problem, Hull City making sure that he's wanted to be fully warm and ready rather than only being halfway there so he avoids injury. As I can't see anyone at the moment making a change for Hull City, so it seems like it will be the same 11 that started the game to start this second half. Of course, that still means that big David Akintola up top. More Hull fans than Stoke, lol. It seems that way. It certainly does seem that way. And I'm all for it. I mean, Stoke are on a bit of a terrible patch at the moment, in all fairness. But still, credit to Hull, credit to the support. Maybe they are making a change. Sergei's just talking with the fourth official who's going to be holding up a board. Sergei just talking with the fourth official, I believe, whilst he's waiting for the Stoke squad to come back out for the second half. We'll take this moment, have a little bit of the Hull City mug glass. A little bit of good luck for the second half for the Tigers. As I say, currently 1-1. They're en route with a goal and keeping out Stoke to win their first Carabao Cup game in just shy of 6 years. I keep on banging on about this, but it's quite a feat, to be fair. And it seems like there won't be any change. So the fourth official was just holding the board for the fun of it. How's Hull playing, bro? Well, just going to come into the second half, and they're looking all right. To say that it's the B team, it looks like Stoke are making a change actually. Sumar, I believe his name is. Number 27 for the Potters. See who he's coming on for. I'm going to reckon it's an injury-wise change for Stoke. It's going to be number 8. There we go. Stoke making a change within that midfield for them. But yeah, they've looked alright. So Hull City are playing the B side, in theory, and treating it like a bit of like an extended pre-season. Halfway through this game, 1-1 against Stoke City. It's not the end of the world. They've looked alright. They've had some nice moments going forwards. They've looked alright at the back. And build-up play's been okay. Sorba Thomas has been looking good for Stoke City. I mean, we'll probably take that with a bit more of a grain of salt than we would with most things, but there we go. I saw someone put out on Twitter at half-time, Sorba Thomas has had a cracking first half. He's maybe worth a punt. Of course, Hull City had apparently a £7 million bid rejected earlier this week for Sorba Thomas. Say earlier this week, we're in the early stages of the week, over the weekend. But can you do it on a cold, rainy Tuesday night at Stoke? We will see if they can do it on a cold, rainy Tuesday night at Stoke. We've certainly done it before. 3 seasons, 3 successive away wins at the Bet365 Stadium for Hull City. As Lucas Garner-Duath picks up the ball in the midfield for Hull City, plays it over towards Matt Targett. Over towards Lucas Harrington, who's just in front of Dylan Phillips here. Now with Cody Drameh. In towards Kieran Dow, back to Drameh. Sorba Thomas applying the pressure, so they're going to rotate it over towards Paddy McNair, who's occupying that left side of the field for Hull City. And trying to get forwards with Matt Targett, but Stoke currently holding out the pressure. Suppose that Mark Robbins given them a little bit of a tactical shift and standpoint. As that was a bit upsetting there from City. They've pretty much just passed it out of play there. There was no one there and just passed it out of play. So Stoke with a throw-in. We'll see who can make a name for themselves in this second half for Hull City. Of course, it's a very good opportunity for some of these nearly men for the Tigers to try and get themselves into the starting squad. Very well done from Cody Drameh, I should say, to dispossess Sorba Thomas and try and unleash a counter press for the Tigers. They didn't quite get it going because of an errant ball. But they're back in possession now with Lucas Harrington. Up towards Cody Drameh. Plays a 1-2 with Kieran Dowell. Gets it going to Garner-Duath. Back to Kieran Dowell now. Dowell coming more centrally. Gets past 1. Get past 2. Struggles to get past the 3rd. But it's okay because he's going to get the foul pulled up for a successive number of little niggly challenges on him. And so a free kick here. Bit of a better spot than we've seen any free kick so far in the game for the Tigers. Very centrally, just in front of the D, actually. And so it could be an opportunity to strike for City. Oh, he's actually sent it a little bit further out of a field than what it was. So it's probably going to be a bit more of a swinging in shot. Hull has to score one more goal. They have to score one more. I'm going to still stick with my 3-1 prediction that I predicted yesterday. There's Liam Miller and Kieran Dowell standing over this one. It's going to be swinging for Hull City. I doubt that they'll shoot for this one. Line breaks. Ball heads it. Stoke head it. And they're trying to go and counter-attack here against Hull City. Hull City defend up well, win back the ball. Now try and build up down this left-hand side. Liam Miller trying to turn something going. But Akintola's ball back to him. Doesn't quite find his feet. Carabao is what was once known as the FA Cup, right? No. Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. 2 different competitions. Carabao Cup also known as the League Cup. It's been known by a few different names from a few different sponsors. All you need to know is Hull City don't do very well in this competition for some weird reason. Of course, we've had a bit of history on the FA Cup. 2014 being that memorable moment. Memorable season that was, 2013-2014. As Cody Drameh tries to nod that one back in play, but doesn't manage to do so. And Stoke City have themselves a throw-in inside of their own half. Hull has to win. I wouldn't say it's a must-win. Of course, if they don't win, they're out of the competition, but that's not the end of the world. But a win would be very, very nice this evening for the Tigers. As the ball ends up very freely back with Matt Targett. Just lets Paddy McNair take over. He's going to pass it over to Lucas Harrington. Forwards. Gets over towards Abdush on the right flank. Omer was looking for the return ball from Kieran Dowell. He didn't trust it. And so now Hull City are passing along their back line a little bit. Phillips over towards McNair. Back towards Lucas Harrington. The 18-year-old Aussie. Most expensive Australian footballer in history at the moment. Of course, is signing to Hull City. Ball centrally to go to Akintola. Akintola just unable to try and fire it back towards Drameh as he was under a bit of pressure. And Akintola unfortunately hacks down Sorba Thomas. Hopefully all things are good between them two because they could be teammates before the transfer deadline in a week's time. And how brilliant would it be to Akintola to score in this game? I was at the Wrexham game last season in the League Cup. Well, my, that was certainly a game and a half. An eventful one to say the least, and that was just from me here doing the live stream. So I can only imagine how it was in the stadium. Hopefully Hull City are able to get the job done this evening, as opposed to faulting at the final hurdle last season. Of course, that was in the first round of the Carabao Cup. They were in the second round this season, not due to winning a game, due to their current Premier League status. That's why you see the likes of Tottenham, Brentford and other teams like that playing Carabao Cup fixtures. No European teams playing yet due to European teams joining in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Sorba Thomas trying to get a quick throw-in going down this left-hand side for him. He's unfortunately having to go forced to go back for Stoke. I say unfortunately, that's worked out quite nicely for the Tigers. But here we are. Liam Miller picks up an errant ball by Manhuff on the right-hand side for Stoke. He's now breaking up the left flank for City. Infield towards Jens Gerto-Dahl. Picked up now by Lucas Gorner-Duaf before Stoke City are able to progress on with that. And so back up the left flank, Go City. Matt Targett goes infield for Jens Gerto-Dahl. Tries to race onto it. Ball just skips away from him a little bit. Need to see some good attacking play here from City in the second half. Not convinced by anything going forwards in these early stages of the second 45. Ball in. Liam Miller goes for, seems to be a shot at the right at the near post from a very advantageous angle, we'll say. Maybe should have tried to get a ball going to someone who was waiting inside of the penalty area for City rather than going solo on that effort, but here we are. Ball fired forward by Stoke. Jens Gerto-Dahl does very well to clean out Bosnick, the number 9 for Stoke, and pick up the ball back for the Tigers. Omer going up this right flank here for City. He's got no true help, so he's going to have to try and do it alone. Tries to break infield. Stoke get a little deflection on that one, and it's going to go out for a corner kick for City. On this near hand side, so it'll be Kieran Dowell to take the corner kick from this one. We'll see how Omer plays out in this one. Of course, he has been told he's going to get given minutes with City this season. Yet to feature in Premier League action in the opening game. Despite quite a few people I saw put him in their fantasy FPL teams. I did see one player had a very horrific bench with Zalkis on the bench along with Noble Mendy. Both of whom had high scoring game weeks in FPL on Saturday. But we're in the Carabao Cup action. Stoke fire one into the box, headed away by Lucas Harrington. who rose like Jesus on a Sunday. Ball back with Stoke. Fire from range. High, wide. No trouble there for Dillon Phillips. Score still remains 1-1, sorry, at the Bet365 Stadium. Stoke 1, Hull City 1, with both goals coming in that first 45. Currently sitting at the 55th minute in this game. It was called the Carling Cup for many years. It certainly was. We have to win this game. We can't be the only Prem team going out this early. Come on, lads. Certainly. And it certainly do well for team morale to back up from Saturday's big win against Manchester United. Cody Drameh just well to dispossess Sorba Thomas once again. He's having a very nice game against Sorba Thomas on this right-hand side is Cody Drameh. He's just telling Hull City to hold up the pressure and slow it down a little bit. Not sure if that's something to do with him maybe taking a little brunt off that Sorba Thomas challenge, or if he just don't want Hull City to rush this attack. With Stoke City currently holding their shape quite tightly. Hull City trying to get something going. Jens Ajerto Dahl up the left flank now towards Liam Miller. No one really breaking forwards for City as Stoke have quite a high line. Ball over the top looking for Abdush Omer. Gets to it on this right hand side. A little bit of space here for Omer. Plays it back towards Cody Drameh. Curls one in first time, headed away by Stoke. Harrington over towards Drameh. Then he's going to come back in field as he gets the right side, I should say, of Bosnick. Ball firing forwards for David Akintola. All we had to have was David Akintola being a metre or so ahead of that one. And he would have easily prodded that one into the back of the net. Matt Targett picking out the run by David Akintola through the midfield. And just unfortunate that David Akintola couldn't get to that one. I would have liked to see him just leap and just prod his foot at that one right at the final stages to get it past the Stoke City goalkeeper. But very unfortunate there for Hull City and David Akintola. As I say, it will be brilliant if Akintola can score in this game. You will not hear the end of it. Paddy McNair passing it back towards Dillon Phillips now for City. Phillips over towards Harrington. 18-year-old for City. Over towards his other centre-half in this game, Paddy McNair. Stoke once played FC. I'm not going to try and pronounce that team name. The club I support and attended matches at. Well, there we go. Fun stuff. A little bit of personal relatability here with Stoke City. There we go. Lucas Gorner-Duath just bodying Bosnick a very light amount, just to make sure that he's keeping in order, because he's been a little bit of a knobhead in this one, we'll call it. Well, here we go. Hidemasa Morita coming on to make his Hull City debut. Jens Ajerto Dahl is coming off, and Hidemasa Morita coming on for his first bit of Hull City action. Of course, missed out pre-season due to a bit of an injury problem after signing from Sporting. And he's going to get his first little bit of action for Hull City. As his first bit of action is actually rolling the ball back towards Paddy McNair. We'll see how Hidemasa Morita plays in this one. As I've said, he could be quite a pivotal player for Hull City's midfield this upcoming season. As good as the game was on Saturday, there seemed to be a perfect goal and opportunity. David Akintola breaks forwards. Akintola round the keeper. Shoots! And he misses! He misses! Akintola misses from like 2 yards out! How has he done that? How on earth has he missed that? He breaks away past the defensive line for Hull City. Liam Miller finds Akintola timing his run perfectly. Breaks past the defensive line. Gets past the keeper. And all he has to do is shoot on target into an open net. And he somehow finds the outside of the net. Akintola, come on. Come on, David. You're giving us it and you're just taking it away at the final moment. Come on, City. Come on, Akintola. Well, Akintola passes it back to Lucas Gordon-Duath here. Hull City try and break forwards once again. Miller just having his shirt pulled. Play's still going on though. Gordon-Duath plays it over towards Morita. Morita firing on forwards, finds Akintola. Akintola unfortunately can't get it under full control, and the linesman goes up for offside there. But very nicely done by Hidemasa Morita. Seemed to pick out that pass from nowhere, it seems. Going to be a little bit like how Huddleston and JJ Okocha falls in the Premier League, where they're just able to pick out that pass out of nowhere, it seems to be. But here we go. Hidemasa Morita actually just picking up a defensive challenge there and wins the ball back for the Tigers, as I just saw the pan across to the bench. Stoke are lining up a triple change here. Of course, they'll be certainly more up to win this one. With, of course, Hull City being a Premier League side, beat Manchester United over the weekend, and of course, a nice little cup run for Stoke City will do them the world of good, I think, this season. Hull City with their own battles to challenge. First touch let him down initially. Yeah, unfortunately. I expect Morita to impress. I certainly do too. I think he could be a very impact player, not just for this game, but for Hull City in his role this season. Been very impressed with Gordon-Duath, especially considering the fee we paid. I certainly have been. I said pretty much when he signed, he could be a nice little pivotal player for City for the role he's going to play this season, and also beyond this season. He's going to be one of them ones that's going to be sticking around, I think, for a little bit of time. Hidemasa Morita plays one up towards Liam Miller on this left flank. Maybe a little bit too much onto that one. Miller couldn't quite chase it down. As City just win the throw-in right on that corner flag. Throwing quick goes to Akintola. Dispossessed now. Kieran Dowd trying to win it back. Unfortunately can't do so. And Stoke are just going to have to pass it along their back line before trying to go full-blown forwards. Intercepted by Gordon-Duath. 1-2 with Matt Target. And he's now trying to pick back his options. Goes for a switch and change to Lucas Harrington, who distributes it towards Morita. Back towards Cody Drammer on this right-hand side. Got space to run. Holds up. Plays infield towards Morita. Morita back towards Drammer. He's going to go back towards Lucas Harrington, who's inside of the Stoke City half here. Kieran Dowd just hacked down there by Bosnick. And it's now going to be free kick for City. And it seems to be the triple change now for the Potters. Bosnick seems to be one of the men coming off. So he gives the fans a round of applause and walks off the field. Glad to see him go, as he's just been a knobhead this game. He just has been. He just has been. Morita indeed. How is Omer doing? It's an Abdul Omer performance. I think that says it all. It's not been brilliant. It's not been horrendous. He's been a player. But what I do find fun in this one, of course, we're used to Hull City playing with the EFL number plates. Of course, when they're playing in the League Cup, an EFL number plate looks alright, but they're playing with Premier League number plates in the EFL Cup. Well, Stoke do seem up for it, because with that triple change, they brought on, I believe, 3 players who started over the weekend. Certainly 2 of them did, I know for sure. In George Hurst, Gallagher, and Lowell. George Hurst, who I say they picked up very recently from Ipswich Town. So we'll see how he plays, leading the line for Stoke City now. Forwards though, Morita finds Miller, Akintola, and he's just behind him this time. Where will the break be for David Akintola? It's either 2 in front of him, it's just behind him, or Akintola himself fluffs it up. Miller has a smile, shake of the head, and thumb up to Hidemasa Morita. Oh, sorry, Matt Target, who plays the ball forwards to him. And that ball's just get behind Akintola. If I had a little bit more onto it, or Akintola held out his rung a little bit more, would have been there. Do they go to penalties if stay tied? Yes, they do so. That's how Hull City got snuffed out last time. Yeah, straight to penalties. One more goal for Hull. Let's hope, and let's hope it's Akintola. It's like someone heard me. Yeah, it goes. We go straight to penalties. He will score. Let's hope. Let's hope he does. Well, a fun little stat just popped up. This is popped up. I sound like a southerner there. A little stat just popped up. Second EFL Cup meeting between Stoke and Hull. Of course, last one in 2016, 10 years ago, where it was a 2-1 win for the Tigers, where we came from 1-0 down. Ball over the top for Akintola. It falls right at him, and he goes for it on the half volley, and it goes behind. David Akintola once again fluffs his shot. Just cannot get a break, can he? All we want is Akintola to score. I'm sure the away end is wanting the exact same thing. They're down at that end of the pitch at the moment as well. It's just David Akintola's day, isn't it? Or it's not. There we go. He will score. He hopefully will do. Put Tyrell Sellers-Fleming in, certainly. Now he's skied it. He can't do anything, can he? Well, he can, but in this game, he just seems to... Nothing can fully break. Come on. Come on, Akintola. Yeah, if it goes to penalties, I want Akintola on a penalty to score. Give him the first penalty. Give him the first one, just so he can get a goal. Because of course Akintola, he was quite pivotal for City in the FA Cup win against Blackburn Rovers at the MKM Stadium last season. Ball switched out wide towards Paddy McNair. He's currently with the back line. Morita does well to help Hull City get the ball going forwards and avoid that pressure. That's a really good try. Akintola showing mercy at Stoke's groundsman, because if he smashes it, he knows nobody could rebuild that goal or net. That's a very fair point. Akintola's having to play on easy difficulty today. Hull will go through. Hopefully they do so. Currently all even 1-1 in the heading into the 68th minute at the Bet365 Stadium. Hull City only made one change at the moment, that being Jens Lajerto Dahl, who came off to give Hidemasa Morita his Hull City debut. Stoke going forwards, and as I mentioned, Morita does well to come in there and pick up the ball for City. Now, Kieran Dowell picks up City another free kick. Dowell's been all right in this one, of course, grabbing the goal, and has done well in the midfield. Picked up a few free kicks in pivotal points for the City. Very impressed with what I've seen, though, from Hidemasa Morita in his Hull City debut here. Of course, 22 minutes to go of regular time. Can you have a perfect hat-trick of misses? Well, it seems like Akintola's just shown that you can. Little sip out of the Hull City mug glass. That time it was for David Akintola. As the ball switches out to Cody Drammer here. Sorba Thomas reads him well that time. So City have to go back towards their back line. Hull beat Man United. We certainly did so. Of course, different kettle of fish. This one. Playing our Theory B team. No one who is starting this game, or even actually played to this point, with Hidemasa Morita being the only sub, started against Manchester United. And Lucas Harrington, fantastically done there to outread Sorba Thomas. Unfortunately, just gets pulled down and the referee says nothing about it. Maybe more of a slip on Harrington's standpoint, but he does well to recover and try and get the ball played out. Kieran Dowell, though, I'm not sure what he was doing there. He just passed it back to Sorba Thomas rather than letting the ball go out of play that was Harrington's original targeted destination. But Cody Dramé on the ball at the moment, playing with Omer. Dramé just going to fire it up and forward to try and find Liam Miller. He's going to have to nod it down into the path of Matt Target. Goes infield to Kieran Dowell. Dowell shields the ball. Advantage play for the referee says, as Dowell's just hacked down once again. Morita picks it up, tries to look for Cody Dramé. Ball goes right to his feet, and that's going to be a pleasure to watch this season. Morita's passing capabilities. He's able to pick out a pass from nothing. And Drama and Harrington playing a bit of a 1-2 there. Before it goes along Hull City's back line. And trying to go up that left flank once again for City. Miller and Target playing a bit of a 1-2 scenario there. 20 minutes to go at the Bet365 Stadium. Let's see. Ball into the box. And Miller trying to get onto that one. But unfortunately just goes out of play. Stoke City throw-in. Going to take a little bit of time there. A little bit of a breather for Stoke. Try and get their formation built back up. Of course, Hull City have resources on the bench in this one. They've got... And Tyrell Sellers-Fleming's the only man that didn't start against Manchester United on the bench, of course. I expect he's going to get a bit of game time in this one for City, coming on for Akintola at some point. Only 18 minutes to go in this one, so I expect that he will come on at some point, unless we're going to fully run Akintola out for the full 90, which I would not say no to. Gives him hopefully a chance to score. But things aren't looking likely at the moment for Akintola, as he's fluffed, I want to say, 3 or 4 challenges. And decent challenges at that. Morita does well. Picks the ball back up for City, laying off towards Liam Miller. I want to say Morita is such a pleasure to watch. He's only been on the field for about 20 minutes or so. Maybe not even that. And he's going to gel quite nicely into this Hull City first team. This is the team that's going to be playing the Premier League. Not this squad here that's playing today's. Seems a little bit out of place because the balls that he is producing to people, they're not fully knowing what to do with. Or even if they are, they're not putting themselves into fully right positions. I think Hull City have just picked themselves up a little bit of a free kick here. There's a foul on one of the City men. Referee blows that one very late. And it shows the standard of refereeing's gone from where we were with Premier League football on Saturday to here in the EFL Cup. Thought we was done with the EFL Premier refereeing, but here we are. Cody Dramé just plays one back towards Harrington. Stoke forcing the pressure onto City now. Abdushamer just dispossessed there. Yeah, straight to penalties for this one, Rachel. All things remain even as they are. At 90 minutes, we go straight to pens. No extra time at this point in the Carabao Cup. Well, Matt Target picks the ball back up for City. Garnath Duath now playing it forward to Miller. Miller back towards Morita. Hull City's second ever Japanese footballer. Of course, the first was Yu Hirakawa, the man who assisted the famous McBurney goal last season at Wembley. Of course, on a loan move that time from Bristol City. I believe he's still with Bristol City. It certainly isn't at Hull. Hull will secure a regular time win. I hope penalties are lottery. They certainly are. As I said, I predicted yesterday a 3-1 win. That's still on the cards. 15 minutes to go, so not a lot of time left to do it, but I'll take a 2-1 win. I'll take a win. I'll take a win. There we go. Well, it looks like Hull City are going to be getting ready to make a change. It's Mohamed Baloumi ready on the sidelines. I'm going to guess he's going to be coming on for Abdush Omer to replenish this right wing, as Omer's looking a little bit out of his depth as this game's dwindled on. But Stoke now building the pressure up, and Phillips called into a little bit of a diving stop there. It's a shot from range from Stoke. And build-up play underway by City. We'll see if the only change is Baloumi coming on, or if they're going to use this opportunity to bring a few different players on. Of course, they're not going to want to run out every player on the bench, because majority of them will be needed on Saturday to play against Coventry City. Ball over the top looking for Liam Miller, and that one just had far too much on it. Went straight to the keeper rather than getting its way to Liam Miller's path. But we'll see how they shape up. So Baloumi, the man to come on the bench that I can see is ready. I'm going to guess they're going to bring someone else on, because they're not just going to do a one change. And ball out on the left side here with Sorba Thomas. Goes in towards the box. That was going to have far too much on it, and no one's able to get onto that from either end. So throw in at the other side of the pitch for Hull City. Sorba Thomas down. So this might be the chance Hull City are going to use to bring these subs on. And they are going to do so. Yes, it is a double change. Mohamed Baloumi and Elliot Stroud. Get confirmation of for who. There we go. As predicted, Baloumi on, Omer off. So I presume Baloumi is going to come onto this right wing here. And Elliot Stroud on. And Matt Targett off. We're going to see Elliot Stroud in his first bit of left-back football for City. Of course, known as a left wing back. He's played left wing for his past couple of games, of course, for City, and also Majalbi over in Sweden. But he's going to get left back football here, and his first bit of action is going to be a throw-in over on the opposite side of the field from that Sorba Thomas cross. So we'll see how Elliot Stroud does filling out this defensive opportunity as a left back. Of course, a left back that does provide quite a bit going forwards as well down that left flank. It'd be quite nice to see how him and Miller pair up as a left back, left winger duty. Ball forwards though with Baloumi. Baloumi gets into the box. Akintola shoots, and it's still no goal for David Akintola. Baloumi does all the wonders in the world to get the ball going, a bit of a run forwards, get past a few men, and lay it off to Akintola, who just tees it up and shoots, but just goes straight at the keeper. It really isn't Akintola's day. It really isn't. And there's a stoppage in play due to one of the Stoke men going down on this bit of play from, I believe it was from Baloumi. I think he's felt his hamstring as he was trying to challenge in to stop Baloumi's magnificent run around him. Very nice moment for his first moment of the game from Mohamed Baloumi. Gets the ball going forwards and managed to dribble around a few Stoke men and tee up David Akintola for what should have been his maybe fourth of the game. But still yet to score in this one is David Akintola. Put TSF in. Put Tyrell Fleming in. I think it might get to the point where Sergey can't bear anymore and has to put Tyrell Fleming in. Oh dear. Stoke will be great with the penalties. Let's hope not. Let's hope it's Stoke playing for pens. Seems like they could possibly be going that way. course, pens, it's 50-50. It's anyone's chance. Seems like a bit of a hamstring problem there for the Stoke defender, and so I'm going to guess that he's going to be fully coming off. They're going to be forced into making a change here. If they have any changes left. I reckon, no, they will do, yeah. All they've done is that triple change, didn't they? Oh, they did one at half time, so yes, this will be their last change of the game, Stoke. A forced one. And Hull City going to make 2 changes of their own. Tyrell Sellers-Fleming is coming on. Watch it, he's going to score the game winner in his first touch. Also, Regan Slater is also going to be introduced here for the Tigers. I'm going to try and guess who for who. Sellers-Fleming for Akintola. And Slater, I'm going to guess for Gorna Duaf. Or not. It seems like Fleming on... I'm a bit confused. The substitutions board held up all different numbers. It seems like Kieran Dowell and Akintola have come off. So I'm going to guess Sellers-Fleming as the striker. And then Slater goes into the midfield role for Kieran Dowell. Probably as a bit more of the attacking-minded midfielder with Marita and Gorna Duath shadowing the defensive line. Marita, more of that ball-playing midfielder. We'll see if Tyrell Sellers-Fleming can get anything done here for City coming on. He's now the striker for the Tigers. No McBurney named on the bench, so it's Sellers-Fleming to win. He better score now, Tyrell Sellers-Fleming, for the win. I feel he will. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my bones. Of course, all the chances that Akintola had, and then coming on for him. It seems almost destined to be for Tyrell Sellers-Fleming. I think Lucas Harrington's just picked himself up a yellow card for a little bit of manhandling one of the Stoke men through the midfield area. And they're now going to have a little break forwards. George Hurst nods one straight at Dylan Phillips. Had no power on that at all. Phillips going to bowl it out for Regan Slater. His first touch of the game. He's going to be passing it back infield towards Gorna Duath. Now with Paddy McNair up the left flank towards Liam Miller. Miller chops it back for Elliot Stroud. Miller goes charging on, but Stroud's going to have to play it back. With all of his avenues forward seems to be blocked by men in red and white shirts. Stroud's going to pick the ball back up here. Have to play it back towards Phillips. Phillips first time strikes it forwards for Tyrell Sellers-Fleming. A little push in the back and no ball there. Stoke have possession once again. Sellers-Fleming trying to dispossess them. A little bit of fight here for City. Stroud picks up the ball. Infield. Slater tips it on for Tyrell Sellers-Fleming. Fleming still on the ball. 3 Stoke men around him. Still with the ball. City break away. Gorna Duath to Balumi. Balumi switching out towards Liam Miller on this left-hand side. 7 minutes remaining in this one. A Stoke man down in the midfield. Ball into the box. Slater nods it. Had no power on it. And that one, easy collection there for the Stoke goalkeeper. And once again, a Stoke man receiving some medical attention. I don't think he needs it. I think he's more trying to wind the clock down. Feeling something in his knee. And his medical team just pushing him back down as he was just about to get up. Time-wasting tactics. There we go. It's very clear that Stoke are playing for the penalties here. Well, let's hope that this is all for nothing for Stoke and Hull City can grab themselves a late winner. Or if it indeed does go to penalties, let's hope that they manage to grab themselves the victory on penalties, unlike what happened last season with the Wrexham Carabao Cup game. Well, come on, City. 6 minutes remain. They're still fiddling about with his knee on the field. Because Stoke have made all of their changes now, so if he has to come off, I believe they'll go down to 10 men. Which will be nice for Hull City. Not to say the least. Hull needs to score, man. They certainly do. Can we get one more goal for Hull? We hope so. Still fiddling about with his leg and his knee. Sergej just sat on the bench waiting for them to finish up with it. Well, come on, we've got Hull City to score it, yeah? We've got a win to be coming. He's finally up on his feet and walking off the field. And I reckon he's going to continue on. You think, oh, it's just time-wasting tactics. Is the penalties if they draw? Yeah, it goes straight to penalties if it's a draw at the full 90. Yep, and he's going to come straight back on as soon as he's able to. Of course, receiving some medical attention, he's forced to leave the field until the referee recalls him back on the field. Stoke's keeper's just going to kick that one long. Looking forwards. Do note that Sorba Thomas is still on the field for Stoke City. As I say, could possibly be a Hull man in coming days. We'll wait and see on that one on transfer business-wise. 2 attackers have apparently signed with Hull City over the past couple of days. Waiting for official confirmations from Hull City. But still focusing on this one here for the Tigers. Gorna Duath with the ball. Are Hull any good on pens? No. We did lose. Well, we lost and won a penalty shootout last season. So, yes and no, we'll say. But Marita's trying to make it not go to pens. He's breaking down towards the byline. Cuts it back. No one there for City. Cody Drama takes it may be in a shot, maybe in a crossing. Not really sure. Whatever it was completely fluffed. Lucas Harrington trying to send it back forwards for City. Headed back up the field by Stoke. Paddy McNair comes sliding in for that one. Send that one out to stop any counter press there from Stoke. It's unfortunate there for Cody Drama. Could have had a quite nice opportunity to grab what possibly could have been the game winner there. Ball forwards by Stoke. Defended well by Lucas Harrington. Plays it over towards Mohamed Baloumi. Baloumi switches it over. Looking for Elliot Shroud. Just didn't have enough on it and Stoke easily intercepted that one. With the back line of Stoke. Who wins this on pens? I have absolutely no clue. It's a 50-50 coin toss. If it goes to pens, I have no clue, to be honest. But 2.5 of regular time here. So let's hope that Hull City have one final bit of gas in them. If not, they are able to make some more subs. So he's been brought on. Stroud, Marita, Slater, Fleming, and Baloumi. No, they can't. They've made their 5. They've made their 5 changes, Hull. So this is their team that they're rolling with if they go to pens. Which if it does so, we'll possibly talk about order. And we'll talk about who would be looking to convert their pens. If only Akintola was on. He'd find a way to miss his penalty. Hull City breaking forwards now. 2 minutes to go. Baloumi on the ball. A little step over to full Sorba Thomas. He tries to play it a 1-2 with Regan Slater. Doesn't quite happen. Stoke intercept and win the ball back. Sliding challenge there from Lucas Harrington. Doesn't find anyone with City colours on. And Sorba Thomas now breaks away for Stoke City down this left-hand side. Sorba Thomas into the area. Lucas Harrington defends well to stop Sorba Thomas's ball finding anyone in a Stoke shirt. Gorna Duath shadowing off number 19 for Stoke. Sorba Thomas tries to play a little feeder ball for him. And that's going to go straight out for a goal kick for Dylan Phillips. Phillips is forced to get his own ball there as Stoke very happily watching the clock wind down to try and get themselves 2 penalties here. Paddy McNair just walking the ball forwards. On this left flank. Elliot Stroud. Shadowing over. This right hand side now. Harrington. Forwards towards Drame. Goes infield. That's a very errant ball that he's forced Sellers Fleming to run onto. Luckily, he does so and City is still in possession here. Stroud. 10 seconds of regular time to go. We'll see how much additional there is to play. There will be some due to a little bit of time wasting from Stoke. Ball forwards. Bellumi tries and gets onto it, but shadowed well there by the number 5 for Stoke City. That's the full 90, and there will be 5 additional to play. 5 more minutes for Hull City to grab a winner in regular time before going to penalties. Scoreline still 1-1 at the Bet365 Stadium. Stoke with a goal kick here. They'll be happy to watch this clock wind down. Taking him a full 30 seconds to take this goal kick here. And it bounces over everyone and ends up with Paddy McNair from that goal kick. Looking for Mohamed Bellumi forwards. Bellumi gets onto it. A bit of a dodgy touch by him, and that one goes straight out of play. Bellumi with a bit of a horrific first touch on that ball. He breaks away from his man, and his first touch sees it go all the way out of play. Sergei not very happy with that one as he takes a little sip out of his water bottle. The City gearing up for another batch of penalties in successive years of Carabao Cup action. Unless Miller is able to get onto this errant ball. Not able to do so as it finds its way back to Stoke's goalkeeper. One more. We only want one more. That's coming from apparently a Manchester United fan saying, "Go Hull. Have we converted you from over the weekend? You've seen the errors of your ways." But here we are. Paddy McNair tries to fire one forwards that goes out of play. And fired back in by Stoke. Along their back line. And Stoke very happily going to be playing out for the penalties here. They're still going to try. As they're trying to break something down this right flank. Sorba Thomas gets the ball back to him. He's going to try and shape one back into the box. Does so. And nodded away by Elliot Stroud. Very nice defensive duties there from the man who's playing his first bit of left-back role for the Tigers. And somehow, there's a free kick in the middle of the field there for Stoke City. Sellers Fleming's pushed down to the floor. He's trying to get the ball kicked away and 3 men around him. And the ref's somehow calling up a free kick for Stoke. Maybe he's calling obstruction. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not fully sure what the ref saw in that one. Other than Sellers Fleming being absolutely bombarded with kicks from 3-4 Stoke men. But Stoke are really going for it now. Sorba Thomas coming onto the ball. Did take a little note there. Regan Slater's picked up the captain's armband from Liam Miller when he came on the field. Ball forwards. And that one's headed behind by a Stoke man. And it's going to be goal kick here for City. Under 2 minutes to play here at the Bet365. A minute and a half now. There's the final chance saloon here for Hull City to grab a goal and end this one when the final whistle goes. Ball forwards. Headed down by Miller. Played to Elliot Stroud. Stroud on the overlap. Goes past him. Ball out of play. Throw in for City. Going to take it fairly quickly. Back towards Paddy McNair. A minute to go at the Bet365. Ball forwards. Liam Miller on it. That's just going to go out of play. And 50 seconds remain. Down at Stoke. Seems to be a cold, windy Tuesday night in Stoke. As I say, no rain, but still, can you do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke? At the moment, Hull City haven't got it fully done. Elliot Stroud picks up the ball. He's dispossessed. Maybe a little pull by a man by George Hurst. Referee says so as well. So yellow card goes to George Hurst. And City have a free kick. Possibly the final bit of action in opening play for this one. As Elliot Stroud's shirt nearly gets fully pulled off him there by George Hurst, the now former Ipswich man. There is mere seconds left of the additional time. Ball in. Headed away by Stoke. Forward by Harrington. Down by McNair. To Drama. Oh! Final moment. It's Tyrell Sellers-Fleming who fluffs the shot off balance. He was practically on the floor when he had to swipe and take the shot. And it was high and wide. And that's going to be penalties for Hull City. Little hole already in Tyrell Sellers-Fleming's shirt, so I'm going to guess there's a little bit of foul play at some point within this game on him. He's only been on the field for, I think, about 15 minutes. But penalties for the Tigers. All comes down to this. If Hull City win on penalties, they win their first Carabao Cup game in just shy of 6 years. 2,169 games since they last won at their Carabao Cup game. And penalties-wise, who's going to take them for City? I have a feeling that we will see Miller take one. We'll probably see Stroud take one. We'll probably see Morita take one, I guess. Bellumi definitely will. Slater probably will, and Sellers-Fleming probably will. So I'm going to say Sellers-Fleming, Miller, Bellumi, Slater, Stroud, Morita. That's possibly your starting six. And then we'll see who else gets it on going from there. Be a good opportunity this to see what City players have in penalty opportunities. But I am getting flashbacks to last season. Of course, not quite as dramatic as last season's Carabao Cup game, as we were winning that one 3-1 at the 90th minute. And then 2 goals in 2 minutes. Saw us suffer it, go to penalties, and then lost on penalties. So Stoke, it seems, are going to go to first on penalties, and Hull City are going to take them second. And by the looks of the head nod by the referee, they'll be getting taken down away from the Hull City supporters. That's what the coin toss suggested. So that's how it's going to play. Now let's hope Sorba Thomas does not score. Because if Sorba Thomas scores, I believe he's first up for Stoke City. If he scores, well, that's not going to be good for Hull City in multiple ways. A, it's a penalty against them that they could really do without in this penalty shootout. And B, it could possibly even drive up the price point that Stoke City are going to be wanting for Sorba Thomas in these final days of the transfer window. Because Stoke seem that type of club where if Sorba Thomas grabs a goal, a penalty goal here, seems like they might drive up the price point here. Let's hope Phillips does the deal again. Let's hope so. He has had success in penalty shootout format already for Hull City. Of course, he grabbed the penalty shootout victory in the FA Cup third round fixture for the Tigers last season. Their first FA Cup win in quite a number of years, that was last season, against Blackburn Rovers at the MKM Stadium. 2 penalty saves in that one. So we'll see if you can pull out any saves this evening in Stoke. Cold, windy Tuesday night in Stoke, and it's gone to penalties. So let's see how the action faces here. It's Phillips versus Griffiths. It's Hull versus Stoke. And it's down in front of the Stoke supporters, away from the City supporters. I should say Hull City supporters, because Both are cities, Stoke City and Hull City. But it will be Stoke to take the first penalty against Dylan Phillips. And by the looks of things, it would be Sorba Thomas to take the first penalty for Stoke. Hopefully it will be a good start for not for Sorba Thomas, for Dylan Phillips. Phillips just getting ready, doing a little bit of mind games. A little grin on his face, pointing, pulling up his shorts. Trying to throw Sorba Thomas, who looks a little bit unfazed there. Phillips looking at making himself look as big as possible between the sticks for the Tiger. Sorba Thomas composed, deep breath, run up, shoots, scores. Into the bottom left corner goes Sorba Thomas. Penalty advantage, 1-0 Stoke City. And it'll now be Hull City's turn to reply with the penalties. We'll see who's going to be next up to take the penalty for Hull City. And it will be Hidemasa Morita to take the penalty for Hull City. Interesting to have gone with him for this next penalty, rather than someone more attackingly. But I rate it. Pinpoint, experience, goes up, shoots, and he goes left-hand side, gets a bit of elevation on it. And that's a goal for Hidemasa Morita. So it's 1-1 on the penalties. It now will be Stoke to take once again. 1-1 on penalties as things stand at the moment. And up next for Stoke. We'll see who it is. Sorba Thomas, of course, took the first one, scored. And the second one to face off against Dylan Phillips with Sam Gallagher. Gallagher, stuttered run up, shoots. Oh, and Dylan Phillips, he gets a glove to it, but it sneaks underneath him. And that one goes into the back of the net. Left-hand side once again. Stoke scored 2. Hull City have scored their only 1 at this point in time. And we'll see who takes the next one for City. Who is it going to be up next for the Tigers? It's going to be Paddy McNair. Okay. Centre half. Thinks he's got the chance. Paddy McNair to take the penalty. Let's see how he fares against Griffiths of Stoke City. Paddy McNair. Come on, you beauty. Run up. Shoot. Scores. Bottom left corner. Everything has been down that left-hand side of the goal. Bottom left for both Stoke goals, penalties. And there, Paddy McNair as well. Goal from the centre half. Come on, City. All right, now who's going to be up for Stoke City? It's going to be Lawal, number 18 for Stoke. Going to come up to take things tied up 2-2. Let's hope Phillips can try and save this one. So to run at shoot. And it's nearly there for Dylan Phillips. Phillips complains to referee about maybe a bit of a stuttered run up. That could have been a bit of illegitimate. But referee says no. Phillips was close to getting into that one as well again. Just goes. He goes the right way and just sneaks behind him. Well, there we go. Third penalty for Hull. 6th of the shootout. It's going to be Elliot Stroud to take this one. So, finally a little bit more of an attack-minded player. Although he has been playing at left-back since coming on in this game. But Elliot Stroud knows how to score. I believe he scored for Majalbi in their Champions League qualifiers with a penalty just before signing with Hull City. So let's see how he does with this one. Elliot Stroud, stuttered, run, and it's scored left-hand side once again. Every penalty has been to that left-hand side of the goal. And Elliot Stroud makes it no different as it's 3-3 on penalties. Nothing missed, everything scored for both sides so far in this penalty shootout. Let's see who goes up for the Potters now. Number 15, Hurst. So it's their new signing, George Hurst from Ipswich Town. It'd be lovely to see him fluff this one. Dylan Phillips to save it. Just not a goal for George Hurst. Stuttered shoot. It's saved by Dylan Phillips! You beauty! The first miss for Stoke City. And as I said, it would be lovely for it to be George Hurst, the new Stoke man. And it's saved by Dylan Phillips. The first one that shot towards the right-hand side of the goal. Phillips read that like a book. Goes the right way and saves it. Advantage Hull now if they're able to convert this fourth penalty of the shootout. It's Liam Miller to take this one. Our number 7, our Canadian boy. Come on, Miller. Score this one. Advantage Hull, and things are looking good. Miller, stuttered run up. Shoots! Scores! Liam Miller scores in the shootout. He goes to the left-hand side. Advantage Hull in the shootout. 4-3 Hull. If Stoke miss this one, Hull City win a Carabao Cup game for the first time in 2,169 days. Just shy of 6 years. Come on, Dylan Phillips. 5th penalty of the shootout for the Potters. It's going to be number 27 for Stoke. There's another left-footed. Stuttered run up. Goes for it. Wind up. And that's going to be back of the net. Left-hand side. And now it's all on City. Evened up at 4-4. If City score this penalty, it's all good. So things are level on the shootout. 4-4. City to take their 5th penalty. If they can convert this one, it will be pandemonium in the way end because they win their first Carabao Cup game in over 6 years. It's Mohamed Baloumi to take it. Our number 10. Our star man on the right. Baloumi staring down Griffiths in the Stoke City goal. Baloumi, run up, shoot, scored! Hull City win their first Carabao Cup game in just shy of 6 years. Over 2,100 days since they last did so. That was on penalties against Leeds United at the MKM Stadium. And they win at the Bet365 Stadium on penalties and go through to the 3rd round of the League Cup. What a fantastic way to do it, with a bit of retribution for last season's penalty failings away at Wrexham, and also to have another game in the Carabao Cup to face this season. There we go. Hull City can do it. We go through to the next round of the Cup, and hopefully a little bit of an easier pick to face. We will go through what the results were elsewhere in the Carabao Cup this evening in a few moments, but let's reel in that celebration. Mohamed Baloumi converting the winning penalty. No penalties missed in that shootout by Hull City, and of course, Phillips saving the one is the deciding factor. He saved George Hurst's penalty, and that's the reason why City are through. One penalty save from Phillips, all scored by City, and City's B side do it on the night, progressing through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. And possibly for the next round, by then we'll have a Stoke man in Hull City's squad, as Sorba Thomas could be on his way to Hull City in the coming days. But what a fantastic job it is on the night. Hull City fans go over to the sold out away end to go and clap the support that's come down to support them in this one, as it's victory on the road for the Tigers, as they manage to pick up the win on penalties to progress through to the next round, the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup against Stoke City. And the fortune of the Bet365 still goes Hull City's way, as Liam Miller pushes David Akintola through towards the Hull City fans, and he's there getting his moment of celebration. Absolutely love it. David Akintola is an icon. Get the statue built of him around the stadium, please. What a fantastic man. What a fantastic team. Still undefeated in competitive action for quite a number of games, and what a number of games it's been for City. Of course, the win on penalties this evening. But now attention turns to the Coventry City game on Saturday. Premier League action back underway. We're away again. Away at the CBS Arena on Saturday against Coventry City. Oh, thank you very much, Cyberred Jim, for the £5 donation. Honestly, you do not have to donate anything, but I very much do appreciate it. Getting up the Tigers, up Tigers indeed. Let's see what we're all saying. Someone tuning in from Brazil. You just got mauled by the Tigers. Won't quite say that much. It wasn't quite a mauling this evening, I should say. See you on the next video, lad. Give this man a sub, boys. Thank you very much for the recommendation once again. Mexico rolls. Come on, City, indeed. Balumi! Balumi, love it. Not so stoked. Not so stoked about that one, are they? But fantastic to see Hull City seeing out, coming back from 1 goal down to tie up 1-1, and then winning it on penalties in emphatic fashion, scoring all 5 and saving 1. Can't really complain, can you? But well done to the Tigers, and more importantly, a good run out for some men that needed it. As we say, full starting 11. They did not start on Saturday. And then sub-wise, we got both men who didn't start, who weren't featured at all on Saturday, Marita and Sellers Fleming on, and also managed to give a good run out, a bit like an extended pre-season to some lads. As now some of the City lads will get a bit of a rundown on the pitch, a bit of a cool down after celebrations, of course, there for their win in the second round of the Carabao Cup. Oh, thank you very much, Mexico Rolls, for the $4.99 donation. Of course, you do not have to. You do not have to donate anything, but I do appreciate it entirely. It does help massively do what you all love here on the channel. See you on the next one, buddy. Sub to this guy. Thank you very much, Mexico Rolls. So yes, if you're unfamiliar around here, make sure you do like and subscribe. But also, there is a reaction video coming out on the channel. It'll be out in about an hour's time when I've got it all recorded and edited and uploaded, of course. Reacting the Carabao Cup win that we've just seen for the Tigers. The first Carabao Cup win, as I say, in just shy of 6 years for Hull City. So I'll have that reaction out on the channel very soon, of course, detailing all of my thoughts on the game and seeing who there is up to face in the next round. But before then, as I promised, we'll go through the results elsewhere in the Carabao Cup, and then we will call it here. So Norwich City did manage to keep that scoreline ahead. 2-1 win for them against Cardiff, so Norwich City are through to the next round. Middlesbrough 3-1 over Doncaster. Sheffield United beat Blackburn Rovers 2-1. Watford lost 5-1 to Peterborough. Peterborough 5, Watford 1. Now that's the big scoreline. Millwall beat Cambridge 1-0. Barnsley beat Crewe 3-2. Wolves defeating League One Sheffield Wednesday 2-0. Coventry, Premier League Coventry 4-2 against Plymouth Argyle. Reading 3, Stevenage 0. Leyton Orient and Walsall finishes 0-0. Leyton Orient go through 6-5 on penalties. Blackpool get a red card and lose 4-1 to Lincoln City. Of course, Hull City, Stoke City finishes 1-1, 5-4 on penalties in favour of Hull. Fleetwood beat Shrewsbury 4-0. West Ham defeat Southampton 4-1 away at Southampton. Ipswich Town beat League One side Leicester City 3-1. Brentford, a big 6-1 victory over Birmingham City. And then the final one for today, Leeds United beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. Of course, tomorrow, Newcastle West Brom, Bradford City Burnley, Spurs Charlton, Preston Everton, Chelsea Luton, and Fulham Wimbledon. Chelsea Luton, Fulham Wimbledon to come on Thursday. So, thank you very much to everyone who has joined into the stream at some point, chatted, all that sort of stuff, even if you just watched. Thank you for joining in onto the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Hopefully you enjoyed the Carabao Cup win for the Tigers. I say, the first one quite a number of years for Hull City, so it's nice to see that one. And of course, continue this ride on for this magical ride of a season that this is going to be, with Hull City back in the Premier League. Of course, Premier League action on Saturday against Coventry City. I'll have all of the build-up coming for that one. And of course, the match reaction for today's game coming out, as I say, in about an hour or so. So make sure you stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you either in the next video or the next live show. I'll be live again on Saturday for the Coventry City game. So plenty more live action to come for Hull City this upcoming season here on the Hull City Fan Fan Central YouTube channel. So I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. It's a Tuesday, not a Saturday. It's cold, windy Tuesday night in Stoke. Have a lovely rest of your Tuesday, everyone. And up the Tigers. Go on!